State Fairground. The Sooners and the Longhorns are the headliners, surrounded by a human mass munching on corny dogs and fried Twinkies. I'm not kidding. Yes, on the floor of the Cotton Bowl, Oklahoma's seniors have a chance to do something very special, join a very prestigious club that includes Joe Washington and the Selman brothers. Only 17 players in Sooner history have ever gone 4-0 against Texas. The Longhorn veterans like Roy Williams, they just want one win. They just want to get on the board in the rivalry. Texas, for a change, can embrace the underdog's role. OU swaggers in with unguarded bravado in this game, embracing the unique pressurized atmosphere.
Just coming out the tunnel, and you know you go somebody else's home field, and I mean they have an advantage, but it's even. You know what I mean? Both teams burn orange, and then you have the crimson. It's I mean something you live for, man. I'm just anxious to play in it.
If you go to the University of Texas, you don't want to beat Oklahoma. You got some major issues.
0-3, and really that makes me feel like a loser. So I'm not trying to be a loser.
Well, Roy, in 3 years against OU, has 11 catches. Derek Strait has been very tough on him. Let's talk quarterbacks for Texas. Vince Young, we saw that gruesome ankle turn. He seems to be okay. But the feeling is that Chance Mock will again start and Vince Young will again come in off the bench.
Boy, that quarterback position is so important for Texas. And if I was Mack Brown, the first thing I'd do is I use a basic sound plan based on what my players could do best, not what the Oklahoma defense gives me. The second thing I'd do is I'd play a lot of players in this ball game and try to get a rested team and take Oklahoma into the fourth quarter. Why? They're #1 team in the nation. Put the pressure on them in the fourth quarter, and then Kirk, what I would do is I use that same combination of quarterback back and forth, and if all of those things don't work, duck. No, quit playing them. Just quit playing them.
Quit playing. Oh, yeah. I don't think it matters who's going to be under center. I think it matters the big boys up front. I think they've got some issues there. On the other side of the ball, how about Jason White, the season he's had so far? You know, he's probably playing with the most confidence of his career. The big thing here is his 2 knee surgeries have forced him to sit in the pocket and trust his arm more. And the other thing that has him playing with a lot of confidence, the wide receivers at Oklahoma. We keep hearing about everything that Texas has to offer on the outside. How about what Oklahoma has this year? I think top to bottom, this might be the best collection of receivers that Bob Stoops has ever had. Jason White here finding Brandon Jones, and they're attacking down the field more. This is something we have not seen in the past from the Sooners. Usually it's a team that can run the football and have possession passing. This year they're attacking, and today Texas's defensive coordinator Carl Reese, he believes in an in-your-face style defense. He'll blitz and he'll play a lot of man coverage. It's a feast or famine situation, and if he doesn't get Jason White over the top a lot today for Jason White. Jason White could have a big game, win the game, and be the Heisman frontrunner if he goes over 300 yards.
Frontrunner, wow.
Yes.
Wouldn't you say that's the biggest surprise for OU, the receiver play?
Yeah, unbelievable.
Bob Stoops would not admit it, but not even he expected him to be this good.
Top to bottom.
If you looked head-to-head at these teams, the one area most people might give an edge to is Texas, but I'm not even sure that receiver edge is that pronounced in this game.
Right,
they're that good.
Yeah.
All right, coming up, you're going to get a little video session with Mike Stoops. Talk about that zone blitz, how they plan to attack Texas, and also we're going to continue
playing against Oklahoma.
Is that definitive enough for you?
Well, I guess.
All right. Is this the day, finally, that Mack Brown's Texas Longhorns break through, they beat Oklahoma?
No, I say no. I mean, some teams hope to win and some teams expect to win. Texas hopes to win. Oklahoma expects to win. That's why Oklahoma always beats Texas,
Well, since there's only a couple seconds left, all I'm going to say is Bob Stoops. That's my answer. He will not break through this year.
Well, it's tough to go against the Bob Stoops team no matter who you are, right? Yeah, and Texas and Oklahoma, just one of the many showdowns on this day that they've dubbed Separation Saturday, Chris.
Reese, thank you. Let's talk about Oklahoma's defense, because Texas, in the last 3 games, all losses, a total of 73 net rushing yards. I mean, that's bad. And Oklahoma, despite another injured linebacker, Pasha Jackson is out as well. They continue to find creative ways, don't they?
You know what's scary is when Mike Stoops says this might be his best defense ever since they've been at Oklahoma. Oklahoma's had a great defense, a dominating defense for the last 4 years. They have an attacking style. They're experienced with the system, which allows them to add a new wrinkle every week or so. They add a couple different wrinkles, and it's a defense, quite frankly, that takes on the personality of their leader and the godfather of the zone blitz, Mike Stoops.
What's behind the zone blitz defense? What's it built to do?
I think it's built to confuse the quarterback is what I've always thought. I mean, you got guys, you got safeties and linebackers, you know, jumping around, going, you know, different gaps, and then you got a quarterback that's got to make that decision real quick, and he's got to recognize what they're going to do.
The Oklahoma zone blitz defense confuses opponents by successfully disguising which players will blitz on any play. Because of their experience and athletic ability, the Sooners have the flexibility to blitz from any position. And at the same time, they can remain in a conservative zone package in the secondary, giving the quarterback nowhere to throw the football. That combination has the Sooners rated #2 nationally in total defense.
When you watch us play, I think the one thing, you know, any team's going to have to deal with is a variety of different zone blitzes. We want to come so many different ways that one protection cannot pick everything up.
In this play, for example, if you think about it, when you eliminate the tight end, they've got 7 guys, theoretically, they could use, but they don't know where you're coming from. And this is a good example of being able to get pressure, even though you're bringing less.
And getting more pressure. That's the whole premise behind it. That's exactly, you hit the nail on the head right there. That's what you want. You keep people in, you get pressure, they're confused, they try to figure out how you're coming, and then you still have, you know, we're still under and over a lot of their receivers. A lot of people we face anymore keep 7 guys in to protect just because they have a hard time figuring out where, you know, where exactly the pressure's coming from, and then we have to do a better job covering. If they only send 3 out and we drop 6 back, we should get double coverage on every one is how we look at it. All right, so we're coming both outside. We're playing, this is a 4 under, 2 deep. We're spinning to 4 under, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2 deep behind it. We try to match all the routes once they get into the patterns. But this is a good look at, again, they're only getting 3 out. We got double here, we got a double here. It almost looks like 2-man the way we're playing it right here. Keeping it in, and we're getting, look at Dante Nicholson comes free off the edge here. He's a little bit wide on this blitz, but again, he frees up. They have 7 blockers, and still they mess it up, and we get pressure.
He is a genius. Now, one thing to keep in mind in this game against Texas is the health of their quarterback, Vince Young, because an area that has hurt Oklahoma in the past is a mobile quarterback who can get back there and create because of his athletic ability. Somebody to watch today is number 8, Dante Nicholson. With the injuries to the linebackers, they have now moved Dante Nicholson up to the line of scrimmage quite a bit, and they love to blitz him. He reminds them so much of Roy Williams because of his instincts and understanding of this defense. Oklahoma's defense is the difference again in this game. They will blitz, they will attack, they'll take Texas out of their game, and also I think Oklahoma's offense will put up big numbers. I think Oklahoma to win in a big way today. They make another statement.
Very good pick, Garrett. Anyway, you know, the Texas quarterback, Chance Mock, has a lot of experience, so you would think you would start him against Oklahoma, wouldn't you? Not so fast, my friends. I tell you one thing. They got a guy, if he's healthy, this Vince Young is 6 feet 12. He runs like gazelle. He's a perfect passer and runner. I think that Vince Young gives Texas a better chance to win the game, but they don't win.
Well, you'll see Vince Young for sure.
They don't win.
His ankle's okay. You're going to see him for sure.
Oklahoma's got too many players.
Mobile quarterback with a threat of a downfield throw behind it. I don't see that from him.
Well, he can throw it downfield. We saw it last week, but it's just not. It's the offensive line, guys. It's not the quarterback.
Oklahoma better players.
Good up front.
We'll come back at Red River rivalry. Can the Sooners make it 4 in a row over Texas?
Yes, Oklahoma, too many players for Texas.
Oklahoma, way too much talent on defense, and I think the difference is this year more firepower. I think they win big today.
Now this.
Welcome back to the Valvoline Halftime Show. John Saunders, Terry Bowden, and Craig James. Are you ready for the Red River Shootout? 2 teams that don't like each other. This is a hump that Texas has had a problem getting over in the last few years. Now they got a double quarterback problem like they did before. Which quarterback do you think gets them through this one?
They need to go with their second quarterback, Vincent Young. He's the guy they got to use to, because when Oklahoma struggles on defense, they struggle because the quarterback breaks contain, gets out in the open, makes something happen, does something the play is not designated to do. That's what they got to go with.
Here's what I'm thinking, though. If you're right there now and you're Texas, and like you are, you're saying you got a scrambling quarterback. Well, you're just saying your offensive line can't get the job done. Yeah. Texas has football players. To heck with all this. They're soft. They're this. Mac Brown can't win this and that. Forget about that. It's Texas players' turn to go out on the football field and execute and win a football game.
Yeah, but the most pressure's on Mac Brown. Let's bring back Mac Brown. When I was at Auburn, we had Alabama the last football game. We play Alabama the last game. You can be 10-0 and have saved your career, and it'll not saved your job. He's got to win this game against Oklahoma, or he may not keep his job down the road.
Not much, but you're doing the job search deal here.
No. I'm not looking for a job.
Everyone that's out there, he's trying to get people fired.
Sonic halftime report. Bill Jones along with R.C. Slocum. Of course, all eyes in Texas are looking at that game at the Cotton Bowl. Oklahoma and Texas, all eyes of Oklahoma as well. What do you think, though, Texas will do at quarterback? Is it Chance Mock that will start, or perhaps a hobbled Vince Young?
Well, there's been a lot of talk this week about that, and everybody's got their choice of who should start and what Coach Brown should do. First of all, only the coaches and the people at Texas know how healthy Vince Young is. And we'll find out in the game. If I had to guess, I'd guess you'd start Chance Mock, a little older guy, although he hasn't played in this game. He's been up here a bunch of times. Start him, get him settled down, and if Vince Young is healthy, I think you'll definitely see him if he's healthy enough to play. But only the coaches know that, so we'll wait and see what Coach Brown does in that case.
Of course, a mobile quarterback has given this staunch Sooner defense some fits in the past. Brad Smith at Missouri last year. What does Vince Young bring?
Well, there's no question with his feet, being able to, Oklahoma's a zone pass defense. They try to rely on their front four, which they have an excellent front four of putting pressure. But if a quarterback like Vince Young gets outside or finds one of those cracks up inside, he can really make some plays on the OU defense. And anytime a guy can do that, you got 3rd and long, and he scrambles, makes a first down, that's like giving you another series of downs. And a quarterback like that really adds a lot. You go in the game maybe 2 or 3 times in a game, he makes a first down when you'd have to punt the ball. That's like getting 3 additional possessions in the game. It's very important.
You know, these teams are so evenly matched. Even though Oklahoma's won 3 in a row, they're as evenly matched as you can find.
I look at the teams, both have excellent secondaries. Both have excellent running backs. OU's receivers are really good. Texas gets a lot of credit, and they have great receivers. OU has good receivers. As I look at the teams, I look at 2 areas. The defensive line of Texas is good. OU's offensive line is very good, and they match up pretty well. OU's defensive line matching against Texas' offensive line, to me, is an area that you got to look for in this ball game and see if the Texas line can rise up to this occasion and match up to the intensity of the OU line and the OU special teams, led by Antonio Perkins.
All right, time report. Oklahoma taking on Texas this afternoon at the Cotton Bowl. One of the keys for the Longhorns, of course, will be to get the ball to All-American wide receiver Roy Williams. And Rick Renner profiles Roy Williams.
Lehman showing blitz. There's the blitz. Touchdown, Lehman. Touchdown, Oklahoma.
The name Roy Williams is synonymous with greatness in the Red River Shootout.
I mean, they called the blitz. Before I went out on the field, it was like, Roy, don't jump, and some told me to jump.
There was an occasion earlier where he jumped and created a huge hole because he got cut, and the quarterback ran through for a first down. But he wasn't as close to the quarterback on this occasion.
I was in the air for a while.
I think that was Superman's year, to where he jumped over the pile and whatnot, and should have won that game. We lost in the 4th quarter.
We don't like Texas. You know, we hate Brute Orange. It stinks. Bevo stinks.
So, can another Roy Williams make an impact?
I'm the real Roy Williams. Just want to let that be known. This case closed.
Well, he is. You know, he's number, 6th pick? Well, yeah, that's, he's the real Roy Williams. And to this year's draft, if I'm a little bit higher than 6th, then I guess I'd have to take over the reign.
It's definitely not this Roy Williams. He's out of the conference. Remember the old days? The spy games? Switzer would line up a convoy of Oklahoma cars and watch practice? I wonder if that happens anymore. Oklahoma cars driving by or anything?
No, we're just worried about our game plan.
Ah, the beauty of the indoor facility. That's how you keep things quiet. Speaking of keeping things quiet, how about Roy Williams? You know, he used to be a shy guy. He's changed.
Well, he's not shy anymore. He's really blossomed as a leader.
They were listening, and I got them fired up, and then I went out there and dropped the ball.
Rick Renner for Fox Sports Net.
Mock or Vincent Young. Turns out it wouldn't really matter if it was Vincent Young or Steve Young or Vincent Price or Norman Vincent Peale, because Texas, they might have had Mock, but they had no chance.
Why?
Not against the Sooners.
Nice.
And some hostilities in the Cotton Bowl before things got started. They separated everybody. Chance Mock did get the start. Mock That is the first pick of the season for him. He had 11 touchdowns, no picks. Texas hadn't thrown one all season. Derek Strait, the Austin native, trying to sweep the hometown Horns, takes it back and set up a Ronaldo Works touchdown. Vincent Young, this guy's arthroscopic surgery waiting to happen for defenders trying to get him. But Vincent tries to get it in there, couldn't get it in. Cedric Benson scored. Here is Young again this time, ill-advised. Can't make that pass against the OU secondary. Rodney Poole will lead to a Jason White touchdown pass after the Poole pick. Now Young in the shotgun. He made a brilliant run to get Texas in scoring position. There's that man from Austin, Derek Strait again, coming up with another turnover, getting the fumble. 20-7 now, Young in the shotgun. This is just a fluke play. Jonathan Jackson lines up with the ball. This always happens to Texas against Oklahoma, Mark.
Talk about not a fluke play. Not a fluke was Jason White's play in this game. You see the inside fake handoff, great protection. Look at the accuracy. Finding Will Peoples in the back of the end zone, 34-13 OU at that point.
And it would just get worse from there. White is back for more. Hits Jawan Rankins. He's got some help. He's got some speed. White only threw 4 incomplete passes all day. That was 17 out of 21.
And right here, you're going to see White hand the ball off to the outside. It goes through all the works. What a great job of blocking. Look at the way he picks up blocking, takes it back to the middle, takes it to the house, 54 yards for the score.
And Reese Davis loves this call. It's the fourth quarter, and Jason White is still in the game. They're blowing him out.
100 on him. What's he in there for?
He's in the shotgun. Are they going to run it? No. Little quick pass to Mark Clayton. And look at this run. Broken tackle there, gets down the sideline. Beautiful run in for the touchdown. 65 points Oklahoma scored.
And Clayton had a school record, 190 yards receiving. Oklahoma, well, it's not just by double digits like they won the last 4. This is a little worse than that 63-14 beat down the Sooners put on Texas on their way to the national championship a few years back. And Jason White has sort of transformed this team from just being a defensive juggernaut into being an offensive one.
And last year, a team that really wanted to run the ball first. I mean, this now is a team that throws the ball first, and I think you saw Jason White take his game to another level. You'll see it here. I think Jason White, just the presence that he shows in the pocket. You see him here rolling left. Look, 2 defenders, but has the presence. He knows where he can go back, buy a little bit of extra time, then get rid of it, and Mark Clayton gets the first down. Now here, Jason White. Look at this. Knows where the seam is. There's 3 defenders there. A perfect ball to Mark Clayton once again. Now in the shotgun. He's got 2 bad knees. It doesn't matter. Quarterback draw. I'm telling you what, Jason White, 17 of 21, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. After this game, Jason White and Larry Fitzgerald potentially, but Jason White has to be at the top of everybody's Heisman list. I think he's that good. He's had that good of a season, Mark.
I think the 2 keys, in my opinion, for Oklahoma winning this football game, first, their defensive secondary. Yeah. They were able to shut down Roy Williams, the great wide receiver from Texas. Now watch Derek Strait, the quarterback from Oklahoma, and he's going to have his buddies help him out here. What they did is they're going to take away the deep threat of Roy Williams. Look at the 3 defenders around him. If he catches it short, there's somebody that's going to tackle Roy Williams and make sure he doesn't turn it into a big play. Now right here, Derek Strait's one-on-one. He's got to give a little push, a little hand right there, but over the top. Here comes the safety to help him against Roy Williams to make sure he doesn't come up with a big play. Now on the offensive side of the ball, you got to talk about the big uglies, the offensive line. Look at the job that they do for the quarterback, Jason White. Look at them in practice. Watch number 47, Ronaldo Works comes, he cleans up right there at the end. Good protection for the quarterback. Now right here, watch the hole the offensive line creates. A hat on a hat, knocking defenders down. This is what Oklahoma does. Look at the offensive lineman. Move the feet, move the feet. Chop, 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 chop. There they go for a big yard.
Is there a 73 in there?
There's got to be a 73 someplace, but a huge gain for the Oklahoma offense. And I just like the way that the offensive line finally came together and they played it as a unit in this football game.
I want to go back to Derek Strait for a second. Derek Strait, among the 8 scholarship seniors for Oklahoma, he will now leave Norman, having never lost to Texas. Only 25 Sooners, counting those guys, can say that. Texas seniors, they leave without having beaten Oklahoma. Same thing for Florida State against Miami. Their seniors have been unable to do so. I want to start with Oklahoma and Texas. Sooners put a beating on Texas again, but maybe did it in a way we didn't necessarily expect.
Well, Reese, you know, in following this Oklahoma team over the years, it's always about defense in Norman. And now all of a sudden, we're starting to see an offense catching up to the Oklahoma defense today. For the 4th straight game, they scored over 50 points. And I think the difference is Jason White's confidence in running this offense. Kevin Wilson as an offensive coordinator along with Chuck Long, they're attacking more downfield because they have all these great receivers. And you know, when Bob Stoops says, this is my most talented team, maybe not my best yet, my most talented team that I've had, you know that's a bold statement, Reese. You got to wonder who can beat them. Maybe they can beat themselves, but I don't see anybody on their schedule beating Oklahoma.
Boy, on this Saturday, it certainly didn't look as if anyone would be able to beat them.
Minded, Oklahoma is a great football team. I'd love to see Oklahoma play Miami, but let me tell you one thing. Before Miami gets there, they got one tough ball game for sure in Blacksburg against Virginia Tech. Now that, I would pay to see that game.
Go ahead.
I'll go quick here.
I thought you were going to call a timeout.
No.
How does Oklahoma not win the title?
Well, the only thing that could happen if they don't win the title is the injuries. I mean, you don't like to say that, but injuries or turnovers, if that doesn't happen, Oklahoma will not lose. They'll win the national championship.
Is Nebraska a fraud?
Absolutely. I've been saying.
Separation Saturday. How about the senior discounts? Number 1, Oklahoma against number 11, Texas. Vince Young, not a senior, redshirt freshman. Jonathan Jackson takes it back. Texas senior class 0-4 against the Sooners. You're going to be busy because Vince Young, he'll break your ankles. He'll blow the cruciate to the people trying to tackle. Look at these moves from the Texas quarterback out.
And the strength, too, guys. I mean, the guy's got to be 225 pounds, breaking tackles left and right, the speed, the move. Vincent Young.
It's going to get better. He had a tough day. It's going to get better for Vincent Young and the Longhorns. Jason White, Mark Clayton, incredible cutback and moves by Clayton. He ripped off 47 yards.
P.J. Johnson from the 30, 2nd and 10. Texas own 30, rolling to his left, passing, ball to pocket, intercepted. Johnson Jackson to the 15, to the 10, and the 5. Touchdown Oklahoma.
How about Jason White? You got to give Jason White 4 touchdowns, 17 of 21, the #1 ranked team.
Sean Taylor from Miami saves the day.